So we have Romans 1. We're going to read verses 21 to 23. Romans 1, 21 to 23. Verse 21. Because that when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened. 22. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds, and to four-footed beasts, and to creeping things. Okay? So, people get this, like I said, get a little knowledge, whatever. They claim that they serving the Lord the right way, but then when they glorify him, they wasn't thankful. They're thinking like, well, I got this knowledge, I'm smart, I know what I'm talking about. You become vain in your imagination, and you become foolish. So professing, verse 22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to a corruptible man. So if you saying God look a certain kind of way, and then you making his image, and then you worshiping his image, you're being foolish. Because it said the Lord says, don't commit this idolatry, do not commit these acts, worship these other gods, because he's a jealous God and he hates it. You're an abomination in the sight of the Lord. Okay? So, it's just like I said, it's plain and simple. The Bible speaks for itself. All you have to do is just listen to what the Lord is saying, take heed, hearken to the Lord, and walk that straight and narrow. Simple as that. So we're going to go to 1 Corinthians now. Be 1 Corinthians 10. 1 Corinthians 10. And we're going to start with verse 14. 1 Corinthians 10, and we're going to pick up at verse 14. Verse 14. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. Flee from idolatry. Simple as that. Okay? We're going to skip down to verse 20. We're going to read 20 and 21. Okay? Verse 20. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, and not to God. And I would not that ye should have fellowship with devils. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and partakers and at the table of the devils. Okay, so you can't serve God and you can't serve the devil. So if you serving God, say you claim serving God, but then, like I said, if you trying to have Christmas, but then you don't eat pork, you can't do that. You gotta do all. You can't be, you can't be lukewarm. You got to be not lukewarm. Sorry, but you can't be partial to on one side and then do the other. You got to do all of it. Okay. So he wants you to be, certain way, serve him. You're not supposed to just, decide one day, well, I'm just going to keep this, but I'm going to do this. All right. So you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and a cup of devil. So you need to choose right now. The true living God or this false pagan God. Christmas, Easter, just a few examples. Who are you going to serve? The one that can destroy you and kill you, or this false God? It can get you killed, but not like how this God can kill you. Okay, God wouldn't destroy you. It says one Lord, one faith, one baptism. Despite what you see and what you've been accustomed to all your life, tradition, it's only one Lord. Okay, so you can't drink out of the cup of the devil, and you cannot drink out of the cup of the Lord. Okay, it doesn't work like that. It's like mixing oil and water. You can't do that. Okay, so we're gonna go to Jeremiah 44 now. Jeremiah 44, and we're going to read verses 2 through 5. Verse 2. Jeremiah 44, we'll start with verse 2. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, you have seen all the evil that I brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the city of Judah, and behold, this day they are desolate, and no man dwelleth therein. So it's like over there now. People claim they're going over to Israel and doing all this type of stuff. We're not supposed to be over there right now because there's so many different people over there living over there. And that city is torn. There's gonna be a point where you shouldn't even be over there at all, because God will come back and He's gonna destroy that place. It's already, crazy over there. So if you're going over there tomorrow, so you in the land, no, it's not time to go to the land. But you should, like it says right here, it says, you have seen the evil that I brought upon Jerusalem. Like, so you got all the different nations living over there, and upon all the city of Judah, and behold, this day they are desolate, and no man dwelleth therein. Verse 3, because of their wickedness, which they have committed to provoke me to anger, and that they went to burn incense and to serve other gods. See, like I say, nothing on the sun. They were serving other gods whom they knew not, neither they, ye, nor your fathers. Okay, so it's getting worse and worse. Like I said, our forefathers messed up, and that's why we're in the condition we are now. But we're just carrying on the cycle, because once you know, you would do. Once you find something, you would do better. Okay, so we doing things, and we doing it. We took it to a whole nother level. That's all. It's the same thing. We took it to a whole nother level. Verse 4. Howbeit I sent you upon you all my servants the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. So it's like me. I got this lesson, and I'm telling you, we're explaining a thing that's abominable in the sight of the Lord, and I'm telling you, but then you still, like, you look at the lesson, you still like, well, I'm still going to do what I want to do, because the Lord knows my heart. Yes, He knows your heart, and He knows that it's wicked. So if I'm telling you, well, you're not supposed to eat swine, I'm telling you that same-sex marriage is not, the thing that you should be doing according to the Bible, and you're going to do it anyway, then you're not listening to, the prophets. Oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Not saying that, like I said, like, and based on the prophets in the Bible, like, people going around, like, you have Paul, who people love and say, said this and said that, but, saying he twisting the scriptures, but no, he's not. He know the truth. He was doing things the right way. People like to use him and try to justify, what they doing, against God, right? So he says, howbeit I sent to you all my servants, the prophets, rising early and sending them, saying, oh, do not this abominable thing that I hate. Verse 5, but this is the problem. But they hearken not, nor incline their ears to turn from their wickedness, to burn no incense unto other gods. So, I'm just a messenger. I'm telling people, you tell people certain things, you start learning, that's what you're supposed to do. You tell people, but they don't want to listen. Hey, you did your part. Maybe you could just plant the seed, whatever, and somebody else come along with whatever, but you did your part. But they don't want to hearken, because we stiff neck, and that's why we're in trouble with the Lord now. Why we're in the conditions that we are now. Most of our guys in prison. We poverty. Everything bad happened to us because of disobedience. Because we supposed to be the one teaching the nations. So, but we do what we're supposed to do. We made golden calves. We all this idolatry and just everything just and the Lord is mad. I'd be mad too. It's like you say, you tell your kids certain thing to do, and they do the opposite, then you're gonna be upset too. So how do you think how God feels? Same way, okay? So we're going to go to Deuteronomy 18 now. Deuteronomy 18. And we're going to pick it up at verse 9. Deuteronomy 18, and we're going to pick it up at 9. We're going to read 9 to 14. Verse 9. When thou art coming to the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of these nations. So, like I said, we disobedient, we got scattered to the four corners of the earth, we're not in our land. But it says, do not learn to do after the abominations of these nations. Okay? Verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or observer of time, or enchanter, or a witch. We're talking about like horoscopes and stuff like that. Horoscopes, witchcraft, fortune telling, voodoo, like you got Haitians, which are Israel too, they do voodoo. You know what I'm saying? It says, there shall not be found among you, verse 10, you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or observer of time, or enchanter, or a witch. Okay? Verse 11, or a charmer, or the consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or necromancer. Okay? This is like, I've been hearing lately about this, the earth shifting, and just say you are Taurus and you are Aries now. I mean, that's buffoonery. That's witchcraft. That's not even, That's idolatry. That's witchcraft. You're not even supposed to be doing that type of stuff. You know, observing times and days, going